can't believe it has been, what, 2 months since I made a video on Kay for the 500 sub special, and I somehow have not yet talked about another video of hers. So I'm here today to remedy that. A brief rundown if you don't remember the last video or you're new here. Kay is on that side of the internet's chefs that aren't necessarily the greatest. What separates Kay from some of the other YouTube chefs out there who have such overinflated egos that they think everything they make is great, Kay takes feedback. She takes criticism. She acknowledges that what she makes isn't always great, but she's still doing what she enjoys, and she enjoys showing this off to other people. Kay is essentially the grandmother of the bad cooking side of YouTube. She's a sweet woman who, despite her best efforts, cooks some pretty messed up stuff. Unlike a lot of the other bad chefs we see, Kay herself isn't necessarily viable for derision, because she, as a person, as far as I know, is just a big bundle of sweetness. And that's one reason why looking at her videos, her recipes, is really interesting. It's like watching two trains collide, but the cargo on those trains is a bunch of plushies and stuffed animals, and when they all ram into each other, they make little squeaking sounds, and you can't help but think, this is very wrong, but very adorable at the same time. So without further ado, let's take a look at another one of Kay's classic videos. This is Kay's cooking. Well, I'm not going to give you the title because that would kind of be spoiling the whole surprise. Before we begin, as always, make sure to like and subscribe. At the point of recording this, we are 14 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark. No jokes this time, just genuine thank you, and let's keep on going up.
Hi people, and I'm back cooking again, and today I'm going to be making bread pizza.
Now you may be wondering, what on earth is bread pizza? Isn't pizza technically already bread pizza? Is she going to make French bread pizza? And unless you've seen this video before, I can guarantee you probably don't know where this is going.
As you can see, I have got 4 eggs in there. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to, no, I'm not doing a very good job, I'm going to mix it. When she did it on camera, she did it very fast.
A lot of these videos, Kay is following somebody else's recipe. Obviously not to a T, but at least for this one, she's following somebody else's recipe. This is not her own creation. I want you to keep that in mind.
Anyway, I'm going to put some salt in it.
So we see the eggs here, and I would guess that, okay, she's beating the eggs, she's gonna make a dough for her pizza, because, you know, she said she's gonna make some sort of pizza, right?
And she put
Okay, that's too much parsley, okay.
lots of parsley. It's a good job I was going to tell you. You wonder what I was flaking in it. But yeah, she put parsley in, and hers turned into a mouldy colour.
Don't put more in. I kind of wish that Kay, and I understand why she probably doesn't, put the recipes that she's using in the description when she makes it clear that she is following a recipe, so that way we can see how closely she's actually following it. Because she says in the video for the recipe that she's following along with, the eggs were a moldy color. I'm not sure how accurate that statement is because I don't know what the original video is. It could just be Kay not seeing the eggs in the video very well. It could actually be because they put so much parsley in the eggs that it turned green. We have no frame of reference, so we're kind of just going off of what we see from Kay, being shocked by that, when she could be perfectly following the recipe.
I don't seem to be doing that. Probably because she had put more in than me. So that's still not the mouldy colour, is it?
She's beaten her eggs, she's put the parsley in. What's next? Is she going to get some flour, some oil, whatever goes into making pizza dough? Nope.
as you can see, I've got 2 slices of white bread, and the reason why it was white bread, because on her video she showed white bread.
That's right. The bread pizza that Kay said she was making is not a French bread pizza. It's not just some weird name for like a flatbread pizza or something like that. No, it's bread. It's pizza on bread. That's it. It's pizza on bread.
So, she said, butter them, the best.
Bread?
No, shut it. Butter the bread the best you can.
More than anything, I would like to find what website, what videos, whatever Kay is referencing that gave her this recipe. Who would go out of their way, aside from Kay before her, to make a recipe about making bread pizza?
Right, so that's the bread all buttered. Nicely buttered.
This could be okay. Say you put, pizza ingredients on a piece of bread, you pop it in the air fryer. It's a quick, easy little thing to do. Let's see how well this turns out for Kay.
Right, I couldn't get any sausages to cut up, so I bought them. And these are, I don't know, I took the front of the packet off, but let's just show you.
Kay, love, those are pepperoni. Pepperoni is technically a type of sausage, but I'm already the semantics guy enough as it is. I'm not getting into that whole can of worms right now.
Now that is the form of sausages. So next is put on tomatoes.
Put on tomato sauce, right? Usually you would put that on before the toppings. I'm sure there's people out there that put the toppings down before the sauce, but that would just make it harder to spread the sauce around. Surely she means tomato sauce, right? Not tomatoes.
Right, I'm going to cut the tomato up. Oh, sorry, it's tomato, isn't it?
That's right. Kay bought herself, finally, a finger guard for when she is cutting her food. If there's one thing to know about Kay, other than the rancid appearance of some of her food, it is that she is notoriously dangerous when it comes to wielding a knife. There have only been a few times where she's cut or nicked herself on camera, but every time she uses a knife is the most gut-wrenching, edge-of-your-seat experience you could ever live through in the cooking world. Watching Kay cut vegetables and meat with her knives without this finger guard is more suspenseful to me than if I were in the original audience watching Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho for the first time. This is another level of psychological horror and torture, especially if you're afraid of getting cut and/or knives. Eventually, when cutting most of her food, Kay will just say, screw it, and leave the most random, uneven-sized pieces of vegetables and fruits and meat on her cutting board. So let's see if she can actually evenly cut her slices of tomato.
Done.
That was a very, very foolish thing in hindsight for me to wonder if she could do.
Now that's going to go onto...
It's going to go onto a pan to, like, simmer and turn into tomato sauce, right, Kay?
Right, as you can see, I've put some
Tomatoes on.
Look, I'm not a big tomato person. I can do tomatoes like on sandwiches and in tomato sauce, like chunks of tomato and things like that. But for something like this, I don't think I could stomach that. It's not just solely the tomato, it's the way that it's cut, like in the middle piece here, the full vertical cross-section of the tomato. When it's in slices horizontally and you get the nice, neat little rings, that looks fine. But when my tomato looks like something out of an anatomy textbook, it's kinda off-putting. Also, not to mention the unevenness of her cuts.
And it says sprinkle a bit of, I want to say chutney, but it says parsley on. I don't know what made me want to say chutney.
If you're going to sprinkle anything on the tomato, you should sprinkle salt, because that's going to draw out the juices and help accentuate the flavor of the tomato. I'm assuming this is going in the oven or a toaster oven or something along those likes. So when you're baking it, that's definitely going to help keep the flavor of the tomato there, rather than letting it fall off and just become a watery, juicy lump of veg after it's done baking.
So now, not even looking at me. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. Take that off. Off you come.
Okay. What sort of pig's foreskin looking ass meat did you just put on top of that bread?
And then it says to pour all of it. Oh look.
There's the eggs. Okay, it's been a hot second since we've seen them. What are you gonna do with those, Kay?
Then it says to pour.
What are you doing, Kay? What are you doing, Kay? I've seen egg on pizza. Fried egg. Or scrambled if it's like a shitty college breakfast pizza or something like that. Never in my life, though, have I seen egg wash just poured over a pizza like that. I can kind of see the concept of it with the bread. Wouldn't it work better if you did kind of a French toast thing where you soaked the bread in the egg wash, poured it over top, or dunked the bread in it and then put the ingredients on top? But then you'd have to probably par-bake the bread so it just doesn't end up soggy because the heat can't go through the toppings all the way. This is a very, very perplexing decision, not by Kay, but by the person who originally made this recipe. I would like to know the justification for this. Was it just to have egg on top of the pizza? Or was there supposed to be that sort of egg wash concept being applied here?
And the bread's gonna soak all that up.
She didn't say pour it all on, did she? Well, you didn't watch the video.
I don't know where you found these videos from.
I think Lee, her son, the other voice, is right along with me in agreeing that this is kinda gross. Kay doesn't say what this is that she's putting onto it. At least she has not yet. Judging by the look of it, I'd say maybe like hand-shredded deli ham. Cold cuts of lunch meat can sometimes be unappetizing looking already, let alone when you put it on your bread pizza.
And then it does say on to top it all, to put cheese on top. But the cheese will be going on the other one.
So Kay is making two, one with cheese and one without, and it seems that the other one also won't have tomato on it? But is she going to put the egg on the second one as well?
Let's go pull the meat together. Bit fell off there, never mind. Put that on with a couple of spoons of, I don't even know what this is for, but...
You and me both, Kay.
And I am going to put them in the oven now. I think she said for 15 to 20 minutes.
I don't know what's a more unappealing visual. The second one, with the egg just mixing and soaking into the ham juice, or the first one, where the egg was mixing with the tomato juice, but then the ham was put on top to cover it up. Maybe they'll look better once they're cooked, though. Who am I lying to?
But I am going to check. We'll check before, because I don't think it'll take long for things to cook.
Does this even constitute being a pizza? I don't want to get all poetic about what a pizza does not make, but there's no sauce on here. No tomato sauce or white sauce if you're a white sauce pizza person. One of them doesn't really even have cheese on it. I'm sure the cheese on the one on the left is just cheese that fell onto it when Kay was making the other one. It's also just, you know, on a slice of bread. It's not on a dough. But then again, you've got stuff like French bread pizza. Is that technically a pizza, or is it something else entirely? I didn't expect a Kay's cooking video to make us begin to question what the constitution of a pizza really is. If this was called anything other than bread pizza, yeah, it would still be weird and look really, really gross, but I would be more willing to give it a pass, because it's not passing itself off as something that it's very visibly, clearly not, nor will ever remotely be close to being.
And here is the end product. I told you there weren't enough cheese on there.
It does look a little less heinous after being cooked. I will give it that. The one with the cheese especially, considering since the cheese is melted, it covers up the egg crime that is happening underneath. The one on the left, not so much, because you can very clearly see the still probably mostly raw tomato and just the wetness of everything that went on that slice of bread.
Here is the taste test.
Right, guys, so now, why is it so low down?
Kay, you goober, you knew what you were doing. You knew that you weren't going to even attempt to eat that. That's what we have Lee for. Lee's the one that has to eat it first, okay?
Right.
Note how Lee is sliding it to the edge of the plate to take a bite. I'm wondering if that's because with the tomato and the egg and the ham juice and everything, if even though most of the outside of the bread is semi-toasted, the middle is soggy because of all that juice. And because of that, it's near impossible to actually pick up with your hands without risking the whole thing completely falling apart.
Very nice, but strangely enough, it doesn't taste like pizza.
And that's what I'm saying. It may not look the greatest appearance-wise, but there are a lot of dishes out there that don't necessarily look very appealing that are absolutely amazing. If this was entitled anything other than bread pizza, call it something like, I don't know, California breakfast bread or something like that, it would probably, you know, be more justified in existing than if you call it pizza.
It actually is actually very nice, but it's like pizza without the base. Even though the bread is there, it's just like toast. It's like you just literally took all the toppings off of a pizza and just slapped it on toast.
That's gonna be the next Domino's item. We already have the weird breadless bowls, which is just sauce, cheese, and toppings in the bowl. Now they're just gonna take that bowl and dump it on top of a slice of toast.
At least as it was nice, or whatever he said. And if you haven't subscribed, or you know someone who hasn't subscribed, get everybody subscribing, get the world subscribing, get everybody subscribing. Thank you. Bye.
And that's where we'll end for today too. If you haven't done it already and have considered it, please go over and subscribe to Kay's channel. She's one of the only people I've talked about so far that deserves subscribers and fans going over to her and encouraging her, so please do if you feel like it. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any other Kay's videos you want me to take a look at, or any other cooking channels, YouTube channels, TikTok, TV shows, whatever that you think are funny that you'd want me to take a look at. As always, thanks y'all for supporting and sticking around, and I hope to see y'all next time, because by the next time I see ya, we might be at 1,000. See ya.